Happy Sunday, everybody. I hope you had a good weekend. So there are crazy numbers going on, or crazy, thoughts going on the internet, on social media, and on YouTube, especially around, okay, what are the brackets? How high can AMC can go during the squeeze? What are the possibilities that we can expect to see? What type of numbers? Are we going to see 500 or 800? Are we going to see 5,000? Are we going to be able to go to above 10K or 20K? Or even, what about the whole 1 mil a floor, or the 400,000 is the floor? Especially as the amount of shareholders, of people buying the stock, has been increasing significantly since this start went to the moon back in June 2021. So let's kind of, dive in, all of these different aspects, and I will give you at the end my opinion. So stick with me a little bit, because this will help you a lot when it comes to how to manage your exit strategy. Because if you are not smart about how you're going to actually deal with it, especially how emotions are going to be really, really high and crazy in the midst of the squeeze, man, you can do dumb, stupid stuff. And I don't want that for you, because you hold and gone so far, not just to come this far. All right. So it's really important. Now, here's the thing. We have what we call the brackets, all right, or the range. And because since January, we had about 3 to 4 million people, shareholders, people buying AMC shares. All right. But when you look at the Fidelity buy to ratio order, when you look at what Bloomberg said a couple of days ago, that they're actually 98% to buy orders into AMC stock for only 2% selling. And I shared with you on videos earlier on the last days that despite the price dropping for the last month, 2 months, and even 3 months back, it is literally not because of people in retail in the play selling. It's just, a conjunction, a mix of separate things, plus the manipulation, of course, that are actually behind the price dropping. But it doesn't change anything around the fundamentals of this play doing what it's supposed to do. So because now we might be around maybe twice or 2.5 times that amount. So from 3 to 4 million people buying to actually maybe 8 to 10 million people that are actually in AMC. Because just looking at the comment section on my videos, looking at people reaching out to me, on my inbox, for example, or even on my Instagram, man, I have people from all over the world. So it's not only North America, just because the potential of this thing changing people's finances, it's so deep that everybody wants a piece of the cake. But here's the thing. The cake only has a certain amount of pieces, all right? Because this thing grown so much, lasted so long, it had the time for people reaching out to other people, recruiting other apes, so that everybody wants to have a piece of the cake from the retail sector and also from the institutional sector as well. All right, that's what I believe personally. So the reality of the thing on display is the size of the cake has not changed. The size of the pizza has not changed. It is still like a 12-piece cake. All right, but the amount of people wanting to have a piece of the cake growing doesn't significantly mean that the price is going to go a little more higher. Now, it's not automatic. It's not, a kind of a straightforward line. Hear me out for a second. Let's jump into kind of the math behind what I'm actually talking about, because some people might say I'm crazy. So AMC stock, we are hovering around $15 a share right now. And the market cap means when you take all the outstanding shares, the shares that the company issued out there, those are the official real shares. And we have about 504 million of those shares, right? When you multiply that by this $15 a share, it gives you what we call the market capitalization. All right. This is kind of what the company is valued so far based on this stock price and the amount of shares out there that exist. So it gives us a lot about $7.8 billion. All right. Now, even if we have 10 more million people, all right, 10 more million apes, 10 more million people, shareholders into the stock, the only thing that can make the price go higher to like crazy amount that people will just lose it when they actually see their gains on the brokerage account is something totally unexpected. All right. And that's how we have to make a little bit of separation between what is the expected, what is the worst, and what is the cherish on the cake. All right. So let's just say, personally, I think AMC has the real, without this going crazy, and the least, the least level of the fork of the range for me is the 500 to 1,000. That I believe, if you wake me at 2 a.m. and say, AC, what is the price at which you will expect to see AMC reach, without even all of the shares, the shorts covering, I will tell you $1,000. $1,000, all right? That's gonna range. Now, if you jump to a quick calculator and we say 504 million, 123, that is 504 million shares, that is the share existing so far in the market, times 1,000, all right? 123. We're talking about what? 0, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, that's a million, that's a billion. We're talking about $500 billion capitalization. Is it possible? Definitely. Based on the amount of fake shares that we believe to be in the billions of fake shares. So if they have to buy billions of shares to cover the price, and we decide by holding which price we sell those real shares and we get the 10 days, then yes. Now, because you also have to take into consideration people, and this is the point of being smart about the exit strategy. Not everybody's going to hold on to the moon. The moon is really the highest price it can go to. So let's just say for a second it goes to 5,000. I'm pretty sure, and I can guarantee you that there are some people that are going to start selling at 500, 800, 750, or even 1,000. Just because I have 10,000 shares, for example, and you only have 100 shares. At 10,000 shares, with 10,000 shares at $500, I'm already making life-changing money. So I don't necessarily have the patience to wait for 5,000 in order to start changing my personal finances. And because of that, I will be so eager to sell at least half of those shares. So that will a little bit drop the buying pressure, but it doesn't change the fact that the stock can still go above and beyond. All right. So that's why I said we need to be smart about how we approach the exit strategy. Now, the other thing to consider is you also have fear of missing out. All right. Fear of missing out is really what would get this thing going parabolic. And by parabolic, I mean even the shorts will not realize how big this thing was. And this is based on one single factor. If we still hold together like we are doing so far, and that it's the single ingredient that is going to shoot up this thing to literally the moon. Now, what the moon looks like. Again, personally, I believe, being realistic, we can expect this to go from the thousands. Maybe 10,000, but that again will be crazy. Why? Because at 10,000, let me just multiply this by 10. I said this because this is 10 in French. So we're talking about $5 trillion. $5 trillion. How many companies out there can be multi-trillion dollars company in a matter of days? Not a lot. And I bet you that based on this event, when this happens, FINRA, DTCC, Fed, DOJ, DOT, Department of Treasury, SEC, all of those acronyms, those agencies, they're not going to just sit there and see retail investors going and being filthy rich overnight. Well, overnight according to them, but it's really what we've been doing so far, researching, holding for the last year and so. And that's how comes into the play the managed part, the management part. I'm pretty sure you heard a lot on YouTube and social media. So based on this, I'm betting you that the hedge funds also, the shorts, are not going to let this slide that easily, that this fold easily. Even in the midst of losing, they will still try to get us and pull the rug underneath us. Maybe they will prevent people from buying again. I don't know. I'm just saying nobody knows based on what we've never been there. So nobody can guarantee anything. All right. So based on this, I just want you to expose what I consider to be how this thing will go based on what we uncover so far and based on the potential it can go to. Now that we have an idea of okay, it can go from this to this to this, considering, other events, trading suspensions, fear of missing out, day traders, Fed and SEC getting in, and finally considering the regulations that are already in place. I mean, this is another event you need to take into consideration. So it's really a balance between, okay, what they can do by buying and covering those shares that we count into billions, that's the number out there, but also what they can do to also try to stick it one last time before this whole thing ends, and we move on once and for all. So based on this, please, let's just be careful and not being emotional, because when it comes to making decisions with money, especially in the stock market, in a stock as hot as AMC, it's really easy. I mean, trust me, guys, I've been there. It's really easy to do dumb stuff. If you never ever managed or handled $500,000, the first time you handle that, you set it in an account, I mean, it does something to your mindset, to your psycho. So we need to be smart about this. More videos will come on this, so we can chat about that. But let me know in your comment section what you think.